When was the last time you watched The Brave Little Toaster? Because that movie is dark, freaky, needlessly depressing, and then Disney went and slapped its name on it like that. Hey guys, I'm McGann with my accidental big 80s hair that's kind of thematic for today, and this is the Fangirl. But do you remember that scene in Toy Story 2 where we get that 3-minute long scene of Jesse's backstory and it's super sad? Imagine if the entire movie were based around that, and then you're roughly in the ballpark for what The Brave Little Toaster has to offer. Backstory time! So we're on Disney Plus, and I tell my daughter, pick whatever you want and we'll watch it. And Kyrie goes, I would like to watch The Brave Little Toaster. So I look it up, and surprisingly, they have like the second and third movie, which I didn't even know there was a third movie, but they didn't have the original Toaster movie, which I thought was odd. Although I am still hardcore upset that Aladdin the series is not available to stream on Disney Plus either. Get on that ball, Disney! But I had positive memories of The Brave Little Toaster growing up, so I tracked down the DVD on Amazon, and it only cost me $5 to ruin my childhood memories and scar my adult brain. This is not the movie that I remember. Okay, I am of the 80s. I remember The Brave Little Toaster well. And other than the air conditioner dying during a tantrum rage out, there was nothing else sad or upsetting sticking out in my memory banks. And if you don't recall anything about The Brave Little Toaster, let me add in a little footnote here that Disney did not animate this film. They just helped distribute it. The movie itself was actually put together by Hyperion Pictures, which is the same studio that brought us Bebe's Kids, Rover Dangerfield, and Life with Louie, which I am still trying to track down, by the way. I wish that would also come on Disney Plus, and Bobby's World. But the plot of this movie, which is about appliances, is that they are items that were abandoned in an old cabin for the last 2,000 days. So roughly 6 years, give or take. And the vacuum, radio, lamp, electric blanket, toaster, and air conditioner are all sentient and alive, and every day they try to keep up with the cabin, waiting for this 12-year-old kid that they call Master to come back. Already there is a super weird vibe going on here. So apparently this cabin is out in the middle of nowhere because one day the blanket can hear a car coming from miles and miles away, and the appliances get so excited that they send Blanky into the attic to look at the road. And Blanky gets so excited thinking that Master has returned for them that he's fantasizing about it. And then that car just zooms by the cabin, and you see a look that tells you that all hope is fading from that child-minded, sentient blanket's eyes. Then the air conditioner starts throwing shade about how the Master is never coming back, and the toaster is all like, you're just jealous that the Master never played with you. And I'm just like, what? How was he playing with a toaster? Was he taking you to the bathtub? No! And also, obviously, a 12-year-old boy is not living in a cabin alone, so wouldn't his parents be quote-unquote playing with the air conditioner? I mean, I don't know why everything is so fixated on this kid. Like, this kid was using these appliances in some fantasy building game. Like, it makes no sense. But the AC unit ends up getting so mad at this conversation that he essentially sets himself on fire and dies. PSA, boys and girls, always clean your filters. And when the air conditioner dies, it is such a fit of rage that he actually destroys some of the house with him. Like, that's not gonna mess anybody up. No children are gonna get scarred from that. Leave it in. Of course, these guys also did Rover Dangerfield, where the entire plot revolves around somebody trying to kill a dog for no good reason. So maybe the writer's room was just not the best at Hyperion? I don't know. I mean, Brave Little Toaster was supposed to be a book first, but I have questions for the author, to say the least. Anyways, the appliances that are still functioning find out that the cabin is going up for sale, and that's when they decide to grab a roller chair, hook the vacuum cleaner Kirby up to a car battery, and go on a journey where the characters have no regard for water and need to stop and sleep for reasons. Okay, so it's like a weird Homeward Bound movie then, right? Well, yes, except a lot more f***ed up. Along their journey, the appliances find this paradise-like garden that is inexplicably there for, again, reasons nobody knows. It's not significant to anything. And then we see this flower, and it falls in love with its reflection on the toaster. And the toaster is all like, I'm not ready for this much commitment, and he runs away. And the flower is so sad from that it starts wilting and withering away on the spot. Why? And why is the toaster so callous about the situation? It's such a weird scene that adds nothing to the film. It's not even like, oh, we found a false paradise and it's not as good as we thought it was. No, I mean, these are appliances in a secret garden out in the middle of nowhere. It's not like they can ever stay there. Why? What did this mean? I'm a theorist for a living and I can't figure it out. There's also some very strange rhetoric between the lamp and the toaster because the toaster starts being nice to the electric blanket.
So, what's this thing with you and the blanket?
What thing?
You know, all of a sudden you're being so darn nice to him all of a sudden.
Better.
Wow, that's weird.
What's weird about it?
I don't know. I mean, you were never this nice to him before. And now all of a sudden you're nice to him all the time, and I don't know.
And the lamp seems to be implying that the toaster and Blanky have a romantic relationship, and he's kind of salty about it, and I have no idea what to make of that either. Like, is the lamp in love with the toaster? Is the lamp just being a jerk? Like, what is happening here? And again, why? Then Lampy ends up sacrificing himself to recharge the car battery, although he doesn't die. So I guess we don't have to add another point of trauma to the list here for that since he lived? Still, it is kind of a jarring scene. After that, Kirby has a seizure next to a waterfall for no explained reason. There's also an ordeal with quicksand where Blanky is just like, I'm not afraid, let me go.
Try to untie yourself.
I'm not scared.
Blank!
Hardcore, Blanky, hardcore. Blanky is metal. And then the electronics end up being Deus Ex Machina'd out of the quicksand into a part shop where the owner is an appliance serial killer. And that mini-story arc ends with all of the store's appliances breaking down the door and making a run for it into the unknown, like that's gonna work out well for any of them. You know, there's so many refrigerators out there in the wild, I'm sure that thing is gonna last for ages. Isn't that just a slower, more cruel way to die than what the appliance repair guy was doing? And at least one person and one dog witnessed that jailbreak and had very little to say on the matter of the electronics coming to life. Then the appliances finally get to their master's new house, only to be bullied and thrown away by the new, modern appliances in his home. Oh, and I almost forgot the nightmare that the toaster has, where he catches on fire and literally throws himself into a full bathtub. Like, what is this movie? Who greenlit it? Now, the kick in the teeth for this plot is that Master has grown up over the last 6 years, and he's headed back to the cabin to pick up his old appliances to take to college with him. So if the toaster and his buddies would have just stayed put like they had for the last 6 years and not listened to the air conditioner, then they would have been just days away from getting rescued. And of course, the only items that the Master wants are the exact things that ran away to go look for him. And the Master's storming around the house all angry that the blanket and lamp and toaster and radio are all missing, yet he completely ignores the fact that his bed is broken into shambles and it really looks like somebody just robbed the place. I mean, nobody other than the rando dude and his dog in the part shop really knows that electronics aren't dead hunks of metal and wire. So it's very strange that the Master doesn't notice any of this. However, before Master leaves the cabin, he notices the busted up air conditioner and repairs it, which makes the air conditioner tear up after Master walks away because finally someone cared about him. Although now the AC has to live alone in a house that's being sold. So I can't imagine he's gonna live a happier life in the short term. But perhaps the most disturbing part of the movie is the musical number at Ernie's disposal, which is where our protagonist appliances end up being dumped after getting thrown away. Not only is there a sentient magnetic crane with a face who is very eager to scoop up other sentient items and take them to the crusher, but all of the cars getting picked up start singing about who they used to be and what they used to do right before they get crushed into tiny cubes.
I once ran the Indy 500. I must confess I'm impressed how I did it. I wonder how close that I came. Now I get a sinking sensation. I was the top of the line, out of sight, out of mind. So much for fortune and fame.
Like, what? Why do we need that? And most of these cars are not in irreparable shape. So why are they being demolished instead of fixed and resold? Ernie has some very questionable business practices going on here. And not only is that song super weird, clunky, and depressing, but we are forced to witness one of the cars turning its wheel as it watches itself on the conveyor belt to the crusher. It's trying to get away, but its tires are gone and he can't move now. Why did we need to see this? And while the crane is trying its best to scoop up the appliances and crush them for no apparent reason or benefit, Master ends up in the dump and recognizes his old stuff. However, the crane refuses to quit its quest for bloodlust and ends up dumping Master and his items on the conveyor belt for smashing. And then we see little Blanky curled up around Master's leg because this whole situation isn't messed up enough. Like, literally, the blanket and several other appliances could jump and save themselves, but they're like, no, we love you, Master. We're gonna die with you. Oh, this was all so unnecessary. So what happens? Who's the hero? Well, it's our brave little toaster, who decides to jump into the crusher's gear to stop the machine. And in the process, the toaster gets ground up in the gears. I mean, there's no emergency kill switch to stop the machine? Were no humans supervising this thing going? The toaster jumping into gears and getting all mutilated is the best the writers could come up with? Really? I'm not even mad, I'm just disappointed. But fret not, because Master is such a devoted appliance owner that he takes the toaster home and repairs him, likely eating up hours of time and spending a small fortune on new parts when a new toaster would cost, what, about $7 back then? But hey, it's the principle of being emotionally attached to inanimate objects here. Clearly, this movie wants to serve up some strange, convoluted message about throwaway culture, which was reaching one of its peaks in the 80s. The fact that our savior character is Master, and Master is 18, and he doesn't want to let go of anything, and he wants to repair it and fix it. Master is offered the appliances in his mother's house, the newer, nicer, more modern things, and he's like, no, I want this old stuff from my childhood. Or, barring that, he wants to find something used and cheap. And that's why Master is our ultimate hero of the movie. Even though the toaster was brave and he sacrificed himself for the Master, and all the other appliances were willing to die with the Master, it's really the Master that comes to save them and rescue them and put them back in order. So Master, who doesn't throw things away, who doesn't treat the appliances as disposable, is our Jesus godlike figure of the film. Master's willingness to repair broken items over discarding them is why he is the ultimate hero. Because, of course, if you haven't caught on by now, this movie is from the appliances standpoint. So the guy who saves them and fixes them is the Goku of the situation. There is no one finer or more loving than Master. But seriously, these appliances lived with that kid for several years at least. Would they not know that his name is Bob or whatever? Did they have to call him Master like there was some messed up kinky stuff going on in that house? And why do we need to attach feelings to electronics now? Toy Story and the Secret Life of Toys already gave me enough of a complex about considering the emotional states of inanimate objects with faces. Does everything in the world need to have an existential crisis? Can I just be the only one having a crisis for 1 minute, please? Overall, though, looking back at the brave little toaster, I mean, the animation is pretty decent, and the movie is an interesting watch as an adult who lived through a big chunk of the 80s, but this does not feel like a children's movie to me. I'm actually kind of impressed that my memories of this movie don't include sobbing and a deep-rooted embedded fear of throwing away a broken vacuum cleaner. I sincerely cannot wrap my head around the people that went, this is the story we need to tell, let alone the executives who went, no prob, Bob, go for it. Were there no standards and practices? Did we just not care about what happened to the mental state of children in the 80s? I mean, that would explain a lot that my therapist has been telling me. But really, did no one stop to think about how they were going to be able to market this movie? Or were all the adults just trying to break the younglings' minds back then? I feel like we're owed compensation for all of that emotional turmoil. But what do you guys think? Was this a movie that you remember fondly? And if you've seen it recently, how are those nightmares working out for you? I might be overthinking it, but that's literally my job. Derp time, yeah, yeah, derp time, woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, I have not done a theory review, anything. I have not been face out on a video for a while, so I thought I'd stop to do some derps. I am not going to sing from The Brave Little Toaster because... like, those songs are not very good and they're mostly freaky, and I'm not down for it right now. Maybe another time if you guys demand it enough. But I can give you life updates. Let's see, I have been very busy directing a play called Mockingbird, which is about a girl with autism. It is not To Kill a Mockingbird like everybody kept mistaking it for. No, it's about a girl with autism dealing with the grief of her brother passing. And we just wrapped the other day, and my cast gave me these beautiful roses, and I kind of forgot to put them in water for a couple days, so they're a little more wilty than they should be. That's on me. But they are very lovely, and I love my cast, and they also got me like a Rapunzel Loungefly person wallet, and yes, I love them now. Now. I wasn't sure about them before during the 8 weeks that we were doing this show, but now I love them. And I have started therapy, which has been interesting, and it's kind of one of those things where I will explain a situation, and my therapist goes, it sounds like you have blank. Like, this is your emotional issue and where it came from. And then I'm just sitting there like wide-eyed, zoning out like, oh no, I have no idea how to fix this. This is deep-rooted. And I've also started dating again. So that is an experience. I'm having a nice time. And I think that's all I'm gonna get into with that for right now. Some of you in the know, the rest of you are just gonna have to wait patiently. But to do a little bit of a teaser, because I did bring the subject up, we are about to go out on a date to see a Weird Al concert, and then tomorrow we're gonna go see the Dragon Ball Z movie in theaters. So I'm excited. Like, we are getting along well. This has been very nice and promising, and I'm quite happy with the situation. So I know that there's a lot of people out there who kind of check on my mental health, and they're just like seeing the videos and stuff where I talked about my husband cheating on me last year, and you know, people have been worried about me. So I just wanted to throw something out here of like, at this moment in time, I mean, I still have depression, I still have anxiety, I still have things that I'm trying to work through on my own. But as far as like the relationship situation, things are very nice. And again, I will kind of put a little bit more out the next time I sit down and do derps, maybe. We'll see if it's still going good. I think it will. I hope it will. We're starting to make some like long-term plans. So I don't think he's running away. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening to me ramble like a crazy person. Thank you for tuning in to this strange video looking at the Brave Little Toaster. Little is a hard word for my mouth when I'm filming. I don't know what it is. Like, normally when I talk, I do not struggle with the word little, but something about how I speak when I am recording, it's more in the front of the mouth, so it's like little, trying to talk about the Brave Little Toaster, the word little, see, it does not want to come out right, so I either have to hit that T really hard where it also doesn't sound right, like the Brave Little Toaster, or I just have to deal with it that it's gonna sound funky. Brave Little Toaster, I'm gonna trip all over that. Anyways, again, thank you for watching, thank you for listening to me ramble. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and we will see you next time, my dearest family members, my dearest family members. Thank you guys for sticking with me through this roller coaster. Eventually I'm gonna get back up to a better pace of posting, I promise. I'm just in a weird headspace and working a lot of stuff out, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Get on that ball, Disney. Get on that ball, Disney. Master, what? And then you're in the right ballpark for the Brave Little Toaster. Audio from Blue Snowball. This is not the movie that I remember. and need to stop and sleep for reasons. So it's very strange to me. So it's very strange that Doctor Strange. No, we're not doing Doctor Strange today. No. Well, family members, we're almost done, but I want to invite you to hang out with me in some other places. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as my own personal self, and I have a Facebook page too, but I mostly just post photos over there. And sometimes people say, "Hey McGann, I want to mail you something. How do I do that?" Easy. Just click the About tab on my channel page, and my most current P.O. Box info will be right there. I also run another channel, The Family. It's really a hodgepodge channel where we might post anything. Oh yeah, and I also sell shirts and stickers and stuff with the Family and the Fangirl logos. If that is your cup of tea, I have a link in every description of every video. Finally, if you want to help out the Fangirl channel and make sure I'm putting out video essays for years to come, the best way you can help is by subscribing and watching more of my videos, whether they're new, old, whatever. Maybe even share one or two on social media, help spread the word. People who watch to the end of videos like you helps to tell the site, hey, this is a good video, we should recommend it to other people. So if you made it this far, leave me a comment of something like, hey, I made it to the end. Love ya. See you next time, family members. Bye.